In 2022, I was deposed from the office of Prime Minister of Great Britain.
People had decided her time was up.
I tried to save our country from the doom loop it is now in.
We set out a vision for a low-tax, high-growth economy that would take advantage of the freedoms of Brexit.
I was blamed for a market crisis that was not my fault. The deep state and their allies in the media and politics tried to destroy me because I challenged their decades-long failure. Now I'm back. I will expose the people who brought me down. I will take on the deep state. I will tell the truth about what is happening in our country and across the West. Tune in to the Liz Truss show every Friday. Tune in to the counter-revolution.
Liz Truss is attempting something far bigger than a political comeback. She's trying to rewrite the entire narrative of her downfall. And what's striking is that she isn't returning as a humbled former leader looking for redemption. She's returning as a self-styled insurgent, someone who claims her collapse wasn't the result of economic mismanagement, but a coordinated takedown by entrenched powers inside Britain's political machinery. In Truss's framing, the chaos of 2022 wasn't her fault. It was the deep state, the media, and the political elite punishing her for daring to challenge decades of institutional failure. This approach taps into a modern political phenomenon, the rebirth of defeated politicians through victimhood and rebellion. Truss is leaning heavily into that formula, turning her brief, catastrophic tenure into proof that she was too disruptive, too independent, too dangerous for the establishment to tolerate. By promising to expose the people who brought her down, she positions herself as a truth-teller, someone willing to reveal what she claims others are too scared to admit about the state of Britain and the West. And whether people believe her or not, the strategy is effective. It resonates with voters who feel alienated, disillusioned, and convinced that shadowy forces, not democratic processes, determine political outcomes. Truss isn't just trying to restore her reputation. She's attempting to redefine her time in office as a clash between bold reform and a terrified establishment desperate to maintain control. Like it or hate it, her return guarantees one thing. The political conversation in Britain is about to get much louder, much angrier, and much harder to ignore.
To my exclusive that Tony Burke told a private meeting attended by Home Affairs officials that he would not block the return of ISIS brides, and he wanted the whole matter kept out of the media. Explosive government documents reveal that Burke also had a private closed-door discussion with a charity organising the ISIS brides' repatriation, and he asked Home Affairs officials to leave the room for that conversation. These internal Home Affairs documents, including handwritten notes, are devastating for the Albanese government. I broke this story this afternoon on the Sky News website. Now, this handwritten note from Home Affairs Secretary Stephanie Foster also appears to record Burke saying that assistance would be provided to the ISIS brides after they returned to Australia. These extraordinary revelations directly contradict both Burke and Anthony Albanese's repeated claims that they knew nothing about the return of the ISIS brides and played no role in it. It indicates now that they misled the public when they initially dismissed media reports that ISIS brides were coming home as wrong. Now, just to recall, this is what Albanese said on the very first day he was asked about this.
What actions has your government taken to guarantee the safety of Australians if these people return?
Those reports are not accurate.
And on the second day, he was asked about this again, and Labor laughed, and Anthony Albanese even bagged us at Sky News.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister, and I refer to his answer yesterday where he rejected reports that ISIS brides were coming to Australia. Last night, Sharri Markson revealed on Sky News that Deputy Commissioner Dave Hudson had confirmed New South Wales Police were, quote, working through that issue with the Commonwealth, end quote. Can the Prime Minister explain this contradiction?
Thank you. There is no contradiction between my answer yesterday was absolutely correct. The report yesterday was wrong. I declared it to be wrong, and long may the opposition continue to get their questions from Sky After Dark.
Well, that was in September. Who's laughing now? For the truth, we need to go back 3 months to June. Tony Burke held a meeting on the 13th of June this year at 10:30 a.m. in his Punchbowl electorate office. Attending the meeting was the group fighting to bring home the ISIS brides, Save the Children. Dr. Jamal Rifi was also there, and a father of a former ISIS bride and someone who's helping the campaign, Kamal Debussy. Also attending the meeting was Home Affairs Director Hassan Soweid, who sent his colleagues meeting notes of what was discussed. And he sent these meeting notes right afterwards at 10:57 a.m. And in the email, he described it as a quick readout from the meeting. Soweid said that Burke opened the meeting and made the following comments, and I quote, "Government doesn't have a plan to get people out of the camps at this time. The thinking is, if people are able to get out, there are no blockages to them returning." So just to take that in, Tony Burke said at a meeting, the thinking is that if people are able to get out of the ISIS camps themselves, there are no blockages to them returning. No blockages from Tony Burke or the Albanese government to the return of the ISIS brides. I mean, that is extraordinary. The letter goes on. Here's what else Tony Burke said at the meeting, according to the meeting readout from his own Home Affairs official. Soweid said that Tony Burke told the room, and I quote, "The government doesn't want to be perceived to have been paying to have them smuggled out. Thanked the reps for keeping these cases out of the news." Tony Burke didn't want the perception in the public domain that they'd paid money to have the ISIS brides smuggled out of the camp, and he thanked the representatives from Save the Children for keeping this out of the news. Tony Burke didn't want it made public that the ISIS brides were returning. He wanted this kept out of the news. That means he wanted it kept secret. He didn't want you, Australians, to know about this. Then there's more. Matt Tinkler from Save the Children told the meeting that the Kurdish authorities would permit the ISIS brides and their children to leave the camps if the Albanese government provided assurances that passports would be issued.